Hey, there is a brand new show premiering this Friday on Versus at 9 o'clock. It's called Gunning It with Benny Spies. And guess what? Benny is trackside with our own Kelly Stavitz.
And Jack, it's a hunting show, but Benny, I hear it's a whole new hunting show. What makes Gun It different?
Gun It it's totally different. I grew up hunting in South Dakota. I grew up fishing. I grew up in the outdoors. And what we believe in is a whole story. We want to tell a story. We know that there's fun things to do before the hunt. We always include an amazing hunt, but there's also entertainment afterwards. It's a full story. It's characters, it's small towns, it's fun people, it's great places, and that's what we're all about. It's loud down here.
And a little bit of racing involved too, right?
We do. We drive around the countryside in a 1973 Winnebago Brave, and we take her racing. Take her racing a lot.
That is brave. All right, everybody, watch out for Gun It.
Gun It.
Gun It with Benny Spice starting this Friday at 8 o'clock on Versus.
I don't know, Jimmy.
Watch it.
That kind of sounds like my dating record, you know?
That reminds me of when we used to hunt with my uncles in Pennsylvania. It was fun. I'm looking forward to that show. That's my type of hunt.
Hey, watch who's going to go hunting right now.
11 lead changes, Jackie. Already
11 lead changes, but Brunhosel and the 47. They're going to apply the pressure here on this lead tandem of Jason Myers and John Smith. Myers gets loose, opens the door for just a minute on Seuss. Zeiss.
And then look at this. Here comes Brumhoser on the outside, taking the groove as Myers gets a little loose. That opens the door up for George, and George moves into second.
John Smith makes it a 12th different lead change. George Brunhosel wants to make it a 13th different lead change. And the guy that was leading before the caution, Jason Myers, has now faded. Zeiss is on the high side. He's trying to get that position to move into third spot.
And Myers very, very loose, gives the room to the outside of Andy Zeiss. Andy's making up points here because Miller's back to 7th, 6th, and Savali back to 8th. So he's gaining ground here with less than 15 laps to go. I'm sorry, with 20 laps to go.
Now, watching these cars, the way they're slipping and sliding, you talked about at the top of the show that you had to conserve your tires. There's nothing left to conserve. What is Jimmy?
There is, Jackie. There's still tires to conserve because the harder you try now, the slower you're going to go yet. So even though they are slipping and sliding, you still have to be patient with the throttle, Jackie. It is very critical at this point in the race.
Now, why, if the leader, I noticed that John Smith is starting to do just what Andy Zeiss is doing, just what Myers is doing, trying to stay hugging down on the low side.
Trying to exit the corner as straight as they can off. Caution flag again.
It looks as if
back straight away.
It may be the 78.
It's the second time.
Donnie Lax again.
Jackie, the big thing is what you're seeing these guys. Why they're doing staying on the bottom of the racetrack, they're trying to keep the car as straight as they can and drive it, let it take its head to the wall, not letting the car slip and slide as they put the power to it. I'm excited about this here restart coming up. Double file, I love this. This is the 13 lead changes.
Yeah, but here's the key. See the guy weaving back and forth in row number 2? Dr. Seuss's nephew, Andy Zeiss.
Andy Zeiss.
Makes the drive. Drove all the way down from New Hampshire yesterday afternoon to drive this car. He was recommended by Junior Miller to take over this ride a couple of years ago.
Past champion,
yeah.
Junior Miller.
And this kid is just beaming. He said, I wish I'd flown down with you guys. And I said, well, I'm just glad I didn't have to drive from New Hampshire in the truck with you. But watch him, because this is one smart character, and flanking him on the outside is take no prisoners Jason Myers, who wants to get back in that point position.
And think back, Zeiss went all the way to the rear of the field. Now he's running third, has a shot at winning this race in this restart.
A little loose, and Brunhosel does do a better job of maintaining on the high side. Gets the advantage and then goes, way wide. Almost hits the wall. Car is crossways. He can't gather it back in. Looks like maybe he had a tire go down. It has created havoc through the corner. Everybody does a scatter, but the green continues to fly, and we are 8 laps away from the finish. Look at Myers on the inside of Zeiss. The red numeral black #1.
That is Burt Myers, not Jason. So Burt Myers, as this guy sat back this whole race and saved his tires. As we have less than 7 laps to go, he's starting to show his hand. This guy comes out of nowhere on this restart.
Brunhosel limping back to pit road as the leaders pass him into turn number 3. And Smith looks in his rearview mirror and he says, how many laps? How many laps? Smitty, I'll tell you. Looking on the outside, he is attacking. That is one of the Myers brothers just going after, and whoa!
What a crossover! absolutely impressive. He has saved his tires. I have to tell you, I am impressed with what Burt Myers has done tonight, taking the lead with 5 laps to go.
34 years old. He is a professional race car driver, driving the Capital Bank Ford. That, too, is a Fenway-powered car, Roush Fenway, Robert Yates Roush engine under the hood, Ford power, and it is growling right now.
Jackie, we talked about it earlier. This guy drops back to 10th position with about halfway through the race. You have to admire a driver that can be that patient with his race car and save it to the end. Now he starts to pull away by some 6 to 8 car lengths.
6 wins in his 9-year career. He has 34 top 5s. His last win came at Martinsville a year ago, almost to the day, September 27th, 2009.
This is a brand new Troyer car. This was a car they had in the stable, and they sent it to Troyer and had it completely rebuilt.
Myers has about a 1.5-second lead over John Smith. As he comes out of turn number 4, he will see the pale silk, the white flag, signifying he has just 1 circuit left to go. L.W. Miller being shown in the 6th position. Now he has dropped to 9th position. This is going to have points ramifications, but the checkered flag is out. It is being displayed to 34-year-old Burt Myers of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, has won this race. Smith, a podium finish. Seiss battles back from the back to finish in 3rd. Brandon Heyer and James Savali round out the top 5.
Very impressed with tonight with this race.
Oh, you can see L.W. Miller is still steaming about what happened earlier in the race. Not at all pleased. Easy, boys.
These guys are really getting it on early. To me, they didn't use common sense, and it ended up costing them because they didn't save their equipment. Didn't save it. There's the winner.
And that guy did save the equipment, and we'll hear from him in victory lane next, right here on Versus. Well, you knew, Jimmy, it wasn't going to take long. People are already calling this the best modified race south of the Mason-Dixon line in 15 years. Let's meet the winner. He's getting out of his car. Here's Kelly Stavitz.
Burt Myers and his crew celebrating his first win of the season, and it couldn't come at a better time, as he is one of those 5 drivers still mathematically alive in this championship race. But Burt, you told me before the start that you thought you had a car for the long run that would be good in the long run. We saw you kind of moving up and down through the field. What was your strategy?
Well, you know, I just tried to fish around all I could, and this track is just so abrasive on the tires. And I tried to wait and buy my time all I could, and we came in and made an adjustment, and man, it just set the thing on fire. And we were able to make a 3-wide move over here on the backstretch, and I think that's what opened the door for us. But I can't thank these guys enough. We came and tested last week, and, you know, everybody puts everything they've got into these race cars and to keeping them going. And, you know, I want to thank Capital Bank, Cumbernauld, Flat Rock Grill. Lord, there's so many people that make this thing work, but to Whelen and everybody that came out. This is a great crowd here tonight, and I'm ecstatic to get this first win of the season.
There at the end of the race, those couple last moves, did you just have more tire left than the rest of the guys?
I think so. You know, like I said, after I figured out that we didn't have the best car, I tried to buy my time and save some tires so we can come in and make an adjustment and come back through the field. But, you know, I thought we were 66 points out of the lead, you know, and I thought we were out of this thing. And, you know, we were about 8th or 10th, and then next thing you know, I'm sitting in victory lane, so we may not be out of this thing just yet.
Still alive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's more than alive. He's alive and kicking. A record-setting 13 lead changes under green, and when it counted, the checkered flag goes to Burt Myers. You got to give kudos to John Smith for his performance.
Ran a great race. Andy Seiss spins out about the 3rd lap, comes back and gets 3rd. But I'm going to remember tonight, Jack, more than anything, the 2 and 3 wide race and so many lead changes, so much activity all night long. You never knew which corner to watch.
And it has made a change in the point standings. It's tightened things up even more. James Savali still on top, but now Andy Seiss just 3 points behind, and L.W. Miller within striking, and Burt Myers, as he said, he's back in it as well. Hey, a reminder, coming up next on Versus, our NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour competition will convene at the Stafford Motor Speedway for the CarQuest Fall Final, and that will air at 7 o'clock Eastern Time next Wednesday night. For Jimmy Spencer, for Kelly Stavitz, I'm Jack Arute. If you want more information about all of the Versus programming, please visit Versus.com. Once again, congratulations to our winner in the Tri-County 150. Burt Myers has done it.